Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's Witchy Wednesday. We're actually going to be talking about prayers and spells and how they compare. Now, in my practice as a Christian witch, my spellcraft is more like hands-on prayer. I know there are many different types of witches, and some of them don't even use religion. So, in all honesty, this is about how I view spellcraft and prayer as a Christian witch. The way that I view it is there's different levels. There's different levels of spells. There's different levels of prayers. And each one has a place. This isn't saying that like spells replace prayer. There's always going to be those moments where you don't want to do a spell. You just want to pray. And that's fine. I do it. I'm sure any other Christian witch does it. You don't have time to put up a candle each time you want to pray or anything like that. You just kind of do it. And that's completely fine. This is not something to get rid of prayer. It's just something to help you connect to God better when you're feeling like you can't. The different types of spells that I'm talking about are like the ritualistic spells. You know the ones I'm talking about, where you have the perfect candle, the perfect herb, the perfect incense picked out. You've got them all laid out next to your crystals on your altar. You've knelt down. You're wearing your ritual outfit. You know, you are in it. Like, if you could have actual magic scene, like on TV, it would be at this point in time. This I compared to the prayer that you would have in church when you're surrounded by the congregation and everyone is praying the same prayer, and it's just empowering to feel a part of something so large and the energy behind it, I guess. And it's all about the energy behind it. I mean, it's just, there's just that feeling where the preacher's leading you in prayer and everyone around you, and it's just that one voice that comes out of all of you. It's beautiful, and I feel like kind of like the herbs and the crystals and the all of that is kind of like your own personal energy that you get to feel part of. My hands. You get to feel part of. Past that, you have like more simple stuff. You have your simple spells, which consist of you light a candle in the dark, you sit down, and you put your intent into it and push it toward what you want. And that can be the simplest prayer, like the prayer before bed, or just in the morning when you're getting ready and you're just talking to God. This is the same thing as one of those simple prayers when you just want to feel connected, but you don't want to do anything extra. You just really want it to be you and him, and that's it. Sitting down in the dark and lighting that candle and just praying is probably one of my favorite things to do. It is the most peaceful, and it's where I feel the most connected to God. There's a beauty in like the full ritual that it just feels, it feels, there's a beauty in the full ritual, but there's just something even more beautiful about the simplistic. And at least for me, I know there are people that do like the full ritual every time, and that's just how they go, but I love the simplisticness of just the one candle in the dark, where that's the only light, the only thing that you can focus on, and it connects you. I mean, how else? Like, the connection of God through the elements is, to me, one of the most beautiful things. Even researching it through the Bible, the burning bush, and the use of water in the flood, and just the way that he shows his power, and it's through the beauty and the just, it's through the beauty and the just extreme raw power of him in the elements. And it's just beautiful to me. So to sit down with a candle in front of you, to talk to God through a small version of the burning bush, it's wonderful. Now, when you get into smaller things, have you ever seen the emoji spells? Yeah, you know the ones, reblog to cast, like to charge. I love those. They're so simple and teeny, and they remind me of the prayers that you would do like for before your dinner, or like your blessing, your food blessing, or your I need a parking place, please help me find one prayer. They're the little prayers that you don't there's not a whole lot behind them, but you're doing it because, why not? Throughout my church going, we've always had some type of blessing for the prayer, if it's just someone praying over the food, or if it's a recited prayer that we've done. The one that I do and still do every single time that I eat is give us grateful hearts, our Father, for all our blessings. Make us mindful of the needs of others as we partake of this food. Amen. And that's like the quick, simple prayer, and I bless my food. To me, that's the same as the little emoji spell. That's just like, I hope we have good weather. Here's some clouds and smiley faces and sunshines, So there are different levels of things, and there's different types of spells and different types of prayers, and they all are very similar to me. Like, people want to keep them separated because witchcraft is evil, but it's just, to me, it's a form of prayer. It's just something more ritualistic. The different types of spell work and the different types of prayers and how I combine them is infinite. There are nights when I'm anxiety ridden and scared and just the world is too big. And being able to set up a black candle, lighting it a little bit of frankincense and myrrh incense, and praying to God for protection and hope is the most calming, safe thing that I can think of. It's like praying before bed, praying to God to give you strength to stay on the path that He wants you on. It's all about connecting with God, be it prayer or be it spell. And I think that gets lost when people read witch for some reason. They just completely ignore the Christian part and just see the witch and assume something completely different. But it's all about God. It's about talking to Him and showing your love and appreciating everything He's done for you. So putting in that little extra effort of some frankincense and myrrh incense and burning a little sage and lighting a candle, all of it is just to show that you want to put that extra effort into talking to Him. It's an appreciation. It's flattery. It's something that I just adore. There were moments before I found this path where I felt I was just talking to the ceiling. The energy from inside the church was no longer palpable. I just felt disconnected. And when I found this path, there was just this surge of energy where I felt God again, like I did when I was young. That feeling of church as a kid in pure belief and faith. You still believed in Santa Claus. The wildest notions could be believed. But God wasn't a wild notion. God just was God, and that was it. As you get older, doubt and all of those negative feelings can come into play. But when I found this path, it was amazing. When I started doing spells as prayers, I felt so connected to God. And there are people that were like, well, that wasn't God. You were connecting. No, you cannot tell me otherwise, because it was the same feeling that I had with God when I was young. It's that same childlike faith. And you can't tell me otherwise. You're never going to tell me that this is somebody else. You're not going to be able to tell me that it's someone pretending to be God, because God wouldn't allow others to pretend to be him. If God allowed others to be him, then Lucifer would have already done it. He wouldn't have been cast out of heaven for trying to be greater than God. So what I'm trying to say is that spells and prayer are so similar to me. And it's just this feeling of peace when I do it. When I pray to God through ritual, when I pray to God through spells. It's just this connection that I had been lacking for a long time. And it was a beautiful moment to feel that childlike faith I had when I was young. But the different types of spells that you can do, the healing spells and the protection spells, the banishing spells, all of those are based within reason. You could pray for just as many of those things too. So combining the two is not so far-fetched. So I guess in the end of this video, as I kind of just went off on my own little world, whatever you can do spell-wise, whatever you can pray about, you can combine the two. If you're praying for protection, you can do a spell for protection. There are plenty of herbs, there are plenty of colored candles that coincide with them. If you're wanting healing, if you're praying for someone's healing, then you can do a spell for someone's healing. A white candle, some lavender incense, you know, just all it is taking a prayer that you were going to pray and then adding hands-on components that just help you feel a little more connected. It's as simple as that. So that's my video for Witchy Wednesday. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. And I will see y'all next time. Bye, guys.